Hi everyone, this is Helen Mandelinich, and this movie is about your course syllabus and the calendar for AOT107 Digital Technologies Fall 2019 semester. What you're seeing on the screen is I've gone into the Start Here Materials folder, and you should see the course syllabus and calendar right at the top of the list. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I am using Chrome as my browser, so the file is down here at the bottom. If you're using Firefox, then there will be a down arrow at the top right. Whichever browser you're using is fine for this class. Just you need to open it a different way. All right, so the syllabus starts off with the master syllabus, and that's a couple pages, and that's material that's consistent for all sections. And once again, this is Digital Technologies, AOT 107. It is a 1 credit hour course with 2 contact hours. So if this was a traditional in the classroom, we would actually meet 4 hours a week for 8 weeks. We're going to do it online, so it's still an 8-week, but you should be committed to spending about 4 to 6 hours a week on this class. 0 lecture, 2 labs, so it's a lot of hands-on work. There are no prerequisites or co-requisites. This course explores various digital technologies used in the modern office. Specific topics include a review of current desktop, cloud, and web technologies, and the analysis and selection of the proper tool for a business situation. Students will explore and practice using various products to gain proficiency in selection and use of the proper tools. So that's the one thing you want to remember in this class is we're always bringing it back to these are tools, that you're going to put in your tool belt when you go out to work in an office. And part of what the class is supposed to help you learn is based on a situation that you encounter in the workplace, in the office, which of these tools that you're going to learn about is going to fit the situation, right? So this is just exploring a lot of different tools. We're not going to become experts on any of them, but we're going to dabble in them and then analyze what that tool might be used for, and then look at it. Okay, is it maybe a little bit too clunky or cumbersome? But are there other tools that may be better? And so you want to start looking at things with that critical eye, and how is it going to work if you actually have to sit down and use it for stuff. So our general learning outcomes, of the 6 that are defined by Stark State College, this class is actually going to cover all 6. Effective communication is every week, every assignments, and that is your written, oral, reading, listening skills. Quantitative literacy, that includes some computational skills. So we do have a few things in here that are numbers oriented, I guess, quantitatively looking at things, whether it's pricing or size or different things that we're going to look at. Information literacy, of course, that's going to be throughout, and then critical thinking is all assignments every week. Global and diversity awareness, we do spend we have a couple assignments on that, and that's really looking at specifically social media and web design across the global environment. So you might be posting for your business through social media. How is it going to be perceived with a diverse audience, right? So you just want to become aware of that. So we're going to look at that a little bit. And then civic, professional, and ethical responsibility, of course, is, that you are trustworthy, you do your own work, you do it in a timely fashion, you turn it in on time, that you're your dealings with other students and me is a professional in a professional manner. Okay, our course objectives. We have 4. Recognize the uses and requirements of various business technologies. Experiment with various business technologies within the scope of the business office. Analyze a business problem and determine the appropriate tool for resolution. You know, your boss comes up and says, hey, I need this done, or I need to track this. Okay, what are you going to do? How are you going to use it? What tool will you draw upon as the best fit, and then how will you use it? Appraise the appropriateness of a specific tool within different international business environments. And so that goes back to that global and diversity awareness. All right, so Stark State College policies. I'm not going to go through these. I just want to draw your attention to the fact that on my Stark State, all of the college policies and procedures is listed, and you as a student have rights. And so the first place that you would look if you think something's amiss, or you want more information about, let's say, a grade appeal or getting it incomplete because something happens, this is where you would start. Okay? Disability services. If you have an accommodation, please make sure that I get the paperwork. We don't have timed tests or anything in here, so a lot of times this class doesn't really require any accommodations, but certainly if you have one and you feel you need it, just let me know that and get me the paperwork. Computer use, I'll let you read that. All right, so now we're moving on to the class syllabus. So that's the thing specific to this section of the class. I'm only teaching one section, so really it's the whole thing. AOT107, it's a Web 3. We only meet online. Unless you want to meet face-to-face to go over something, then you could schedule something. My office hours I have, which you would only care about the first 8 weeks because this is a first 8-week class. On Mondays and Wednesdays, I will be in my office guaranteed from 10 to noon and 2 to 3, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon to 2. So just to kind of let you know, I have a Monday-Wednesday class from 8 to 10, and then another one from noon to 2, and then on Wednesdays I have one from 3 to 5. Okay, so on Wednesdays I probably will only be in my office here. On Mondays I probably will be in my office later, but there's no guarantee. You would always want to check. These times I'm going to be there for sure. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays I have a class from 10 to noon. I usually come in before that. I'm usually here by 8, and I probably will stay later than 2. But once again, these are my reserved hours for you guys. So if it's outside of that, just either reach out to me or reach out to the admin, Crystal Nash, here in C100, and she would put you on my schedule. C100U is my office. My extension here at the college is 4588. But honestly, the best way to get a hold of me is through my email. And I'm going to do the Remind app. So that would be a way for you to text me, and I could text you answers. So if it was just a quick thing that you wanted to shoot me and ask, rather than going through email or going through Blackboard to try and do that, I am going to set up the Remind app for this class. So you could do the same on your phone or on your computer. Put that Remind app and just send me a little text. And then it's kind of nice because then you don't have to be giving out your phone number. The Remind system takes care of that. But I would see who it was from. In this class, we don't have any textbooks. It's all driven by materials that I have pulled together from the internet, and then some handouts that I've created. You might want to have some kind of a drive, whether it's just a thumb drive or a bigger hard drive, portable hard drive. We aren't in the classroom, so really you could be doing your work on your own hard drive at home, but it's nice to back things up. All right, so then how is the assignments broken up in this class? Well, we have really 4 areas. Research, which you're going to do some research on various technologies, and then you're going to present that through papers and presentations, PowerPoints. None of them are huge, okay? Like when it says research, I mean, we're not talking a real research paper. Most of them are, 1 to maybe 3 pages if you put some kind of table in there. It's not a huge document that you're creating, but there are a lot throughout the semester, and those are 30% of your grade. Then labs, these are the hands-on practice of your technologies that we're going to talk about. They're going to vary as individual or team. I try not to do too much teamwork online. I just think it puts another level of pressure on everybody. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I think I might have removed them all. But anyhow, that's 40% of your grade is the labs. And those could be very small, or a little bit more intense, but none of them are huge on their own. Discussion. So almost every week, I don't think I have one the first week because you're going to do a introduce yourself, but I think most of the other weeks we have some kind of a discussion, and that's about some kind of a business problem, and then maybe what you think would be something good to try to resolve the issue, like a tool that you would use or a process that you would use. And I want the class to discuss it. Maybe there are things that somebody else put that you've tried and it didn't work, like maybe give your feedback on that, or you hadn't thought of it, just kind of some back and forth, so we feel more like a class. Plus then we can explore what perspective other people have on a topic. So that's 20% of your grade. And then there's a digital notebook. We're going to do a OneNote notebook. We're going to start at week 1, and then every week your research labs that you create, you're going to put into this notebook. So at the end of the semester, you would have a OneNote notebook that's a collection of all the technologies that we have used and talked about. And then that would be yours forever. So if you wanted to go back and you'd think, gosh, I know we did something, but I can't remember. Hey, you whip out this OneNote notebook online. You're never going to lose it. And then you can look at the materials that, look at what tool you used for that technology. That's 10% of your grade. And so we started, you have one assignment week 1, and that's really talking about how you're going to organize the notebook. And then you don't submit it again until the end of the semester. But the students who succeed in this class, every week when they do their research and their labs, the last thing they do after they submit it, the assignment to Blackboard, is they turn around and they dump that research document or their labs over to the OneNote notebook, and then it's done. And then you get to the end of the semester and you're not scrambling to pull all that material together again. It's just easier to do each week. And I have a reminder saying, hey, update your notebook. So that's what you're going to do and how it's weighted. 90 and above is an A. It's the standard scale here, 80 to 89. And I actually round. So like if you have an 89.5, that'll round up to a 90. If you have an 89.4, it does not. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your grades. Classroom policies, no late assignments, okay? There's a lot of grading in this class. I have a full class. This class is full. So I cannot manage late assignments, okay? If something happens critical, you're in the hospital or, whatever, please just reach out to me and see if we can work something out. But by and large, I don't take things late. Attendance is imperative to your success. And so what I mean by that is you need to log on to Blackboard. You need to do it a couple times a week. You need to be involved in looking at the material and engaged in the discussions. It's really, really important that you don't wait till the last minute to ask a question or on an assignment. I may not be around. I may not be at a computer that I can help you. So be a little organized. Plus, sometimes some of these might take a little bit to upload. So always try and do things a little early. particularly if you're not sure what direction. Don't wait till the last minute because it's just not going to work. All work is submitted electronically through Blackboard. I'm not going to take anything through email unless I specifically tell you you can do that. And that's for your own protection, guys. Because I have I go through Blackboard, I grade the assignments in Blackboard. If you send it an email, then I might forget that I received it. You'll end up getting a 0, and then you'll have to, it's just better to do it in the Dropbox. Okay, sharing of files will not be tolerated. This has got to be your own work. And then here's the policy, the honesty and learning policy, and the procedure for what would happen if I find that you are plagiarizing someone else's work. Bottom line, you'll get a 0 on the assignment. You do it a second time and you get an F in the class. So don't do it. I've never had that in this class, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, give me 24 hours if you post a discussion or an email for me to get your response. I try to do better than that, but sometimes I can't, and that's where this Remind app comes in. If you choose to install it, I always have my phone with me, and even if I'm at the grocery store and you send me an email, I'm not going to be able to respond. If you send me a text, I can at least acknowledge that I got it, and the minute I can get to it, I'll look at it, or I may already have the answer and I can just text it right back to you. So this summer, I'm at the Indians game, and I had students texting me, and I could on a Tuesday evening, I could answer their questions while I'm, watching the Tribe win. So I really recommend that you install the Remind app. Okay. Don't post a file to a discussion board unless it's part of the discussion. Don't put a post out there saying, hey, can you guys help me on this? It's just not, you shouldn't do that. I'm going to try desperately to have everything graded within 1 week of the posted deadline, not the date you submit, but when it's due. I usually meet that deadline. But like I said, there's a lot of you in this class, and it all takes a long time to review. So I'm going to try really hard. At all times, you are to be respectful of me and your classmates. So just try and keep that standard. All your correspondence is private, should not be forwarded to other members of the class. If you need assistance, you can use discussion boards. Otherwise, contact me and I can help you. All right, so this is the policy on sharing of files. I'm not going to read through it. Just know I don't want you to do it. And then additional information, I want you to read through that. Tutoring Center is C106. There's not really anybody in there that can help you specifically with this class, although they might be able to give you guidance because depending on who's in there, they have the background knowledge to help you. And certainly if you have issues with your writing for some of the research, the Writing Center G200 is an excellent source. They have it both where you can go face-to-face, and they do have online help. So please take advantage of that. This is a first 8-week class, so the withdrawal date for this class is September 30th. So make sure you, if something comes up and you have to withdraw, first of all, talk to me. Maybe we can figure something out. But if you can't, the 30th is the last day. The next thing is your calendar. And so I have this broken down into each week. Notice Unit 1 is 2 weeks, but I have it separated because they're separate assignments. So you have to take your syllabus quiz. It's due by the 3rd of September, which is a Tuesday. Normally your assignments are going to be due Monday night at 11:59, but the first Monday, 9/2 is, the second Monday is a holiday, so I backed the first week assignments up to Tuesday night. So you would this is the topics that we're going to cover, and then these are the assignments and the due date, right? So we always talk about it, you know, and then it's due the next Monday, except for the first week and the last week. So the last week 5 and 6 is a unit. It's the unit, and I messed that up. This should be unit 3, unit 4, and unit 5, and I'll fix that before you guys get this. So unit 5 is about web design and maintenance, but I have it over 2 weeks. The difference being up here, unit 1, there's different assignments. This assignment will take you some time, so you have 2 weeks to get that done. And then the same thing for social media maintenance with this Hootsuite. You'll have a couple weeks to do the assignment. All right, that's the end of the syllabus. Please let me know if you have any questions, concerns, comments, and I thank you. I'll see you online.